Ridiculous. Lethal contingencies. All right, so maybe you saw the blooper reel. I don't know. I had a leak. I had a leak on the Teflon tape going into the car stock. So I think I got it fixed now. So we're gonna give it another try. We got 2 fresh cartridges here. We got a fresh one right here. And hopefully I did a good job with this repair. We got an unpunctured one right there. Umarex branded cartridge. All right. And then we have one in the handle, another one which is unpunctured at the moment, obviously. But we have another Umarex branded cartridge in the back here. I'm sorry, in the handle. And I have some silicone oil, quite a bit of it in there for that one. And we're gonna give her another whirl at this. Okay, so this is gonna be me, first time shooting the IntruBuster Gen 2 on 24 grams of CO2. Okay, so we got 1 12 gram that's gonna be feeding the expansion chamber in the Vulcan car stock, or just call it car stock. Okay, it's then going through a, what do they call these things? A tank regulator extender piece, extension, I think they call it an extension. And it just has some small little holes in it. So I'm using that to kind of knock down the liquid CO2 to hopefully lessen the risk of there being a slug of liquid CO2 getting picked up on the bolt, by the bolt. So yeah, so we're gonna try this again. Hopefully we don't have any leaks. I actually got this working one day before without a leak, so I know it is possible. So I got some new Teflon tape there to seal that. We're gonna puncture this one first, much like we did last time. You know, hopefully without the blooper reel. Hopefully this doesn't turn into blooper reel number 2. Anyways, and then we'll puncture the handle. And yeah, she's unloaded. There's nothing in the breech. Let's give it a try. Wow. Okay, I'm not hearing any leak. Well, there is an ever so small leak in here, but you can't really hear it. It's just tiny, tiny little leak. Okay. All right, now we're gonna puncture the handle CO2. Okay, that was a good puncture. Okay, I can still hear a very slight leak, but nowhere near as bad as the last leak. All right, this is the experimental zone. It's either going in the experimental zone playlist or it's going into the blooper playlist with the last one. I don't know. We'll see. So we're gonna give this a try. Let me put the gun down really quick and get my airs in, and then we'll see how this one goes. Again, we're gonna do the 8 gram AR Tactical Joules. Those are bore matched, 686 bore, factory bore, 4.5 inch factory barrel, I should say, with 685 is the 8 gram Joules, and they're weighing in pretty consistent around 8.28, I think it was. Pretty consistent. All right, we're gonna use the laser. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna call out feet per second. I don't know. Thought I had something going on with the magazine, but it's just the dummy over here doesn't know how to put the magazine in. All right, we are live. 24 grams, 8 gram Joules. Shot 1. 359.4. Shot 2. 307.2, shot 3. 322.1, shot 4. 262.8, and I got a dead trigger. All right. Good news and bad news. The good news is that I didn't have a major leak, and I was able to shoot through it. The bad news is I can't even get a full mag off, so this thing's definitely a CO2 hog right now, which I saw that before when I was just using the handle CO2. I think the most, since I added this Home Defense 24 rear ASA, mind you, it's the short one, but it's such a CO2 pig. I think I got off, what was it, 4 or 5 rounds, that was it. Now with 24 grams, you'd think I'd do better. I'd be able to get off a full mag, but no. Granted, I think it was probably pretty powerful. I'll run the numbers, they'll be in the video, but I think this one's going into the experimental playlist because I'm not terribly impressed with the outcome. So I got what, 4 rounds? So we'll add this to the experimental playlist. The first one we're going to add to the bloopers. And then we'll add this one to experimental. Anyways, again, hopefully this brought you some sort of comic relief. Anyways. All right, guys. Enjoy. Peace out. Just trying some different stuff, that's all. You know, I got to use this car stock. I tell you, I love the car stock. So I figured I had to try it. So just trying something new. Anyways, peace out.